Okay, so we've already covered who's the best Avenger. And if you haven't seen that video, check out the link in the description. Today, we delve into the origin of the Avengers' most notable leader, Steve Rogers. Steve was born on the Lower East Side of Manhattan to Sarah and Joseph Rogers on July 4th, 1920. That's right, Independence Day. Steve's father, Joseph, died while Steve was very young, and his mother, Sarah, passed away a few years later from pneumonia. Wait, you thought you were gonna get away without somebody's parents dying in this origin story? Alright then. Growing up, Steve was always sick and frail in comparison to the other boys his age, but what he lacked as far as physical prowess he made up for in his academics and art. Little known fact about Cap, in his later years, Steve quit his job in advertising and went to work for Marvel Comics illustrating Captain America comics, of course, in place of Jack Kirby. Once Steve was in his 20s, World War II was in effect, and Steve had decided that he wanted to play his part in fighting for the world's freedoms. But Rogers is rejected after multiple attempts to enlist in the US military, basically for being softer than a summer's breeze. However, his determination catches the eye of General Chester Phillip, who thinks Steve would be a perfect fit for Operation Rebirth. This top-secret project would consist of Steve receiving a serum created by a Dr. Abraham Erskine. The serum's effects were to increase his strength, agility, stamina, and even his intelligence to the peak of human capability, making him the superest of soldiers. To the surprise of the military, the serum is a success, and Steve is transformed into the near-perfect human that is Captain America. But since Dr. Erskine only had the serum's formula committed to memory, it was lost forever when a Nazi spy starts busting off shots in the laboratory right after Steve's transformation. Steve jumps into action doing what he does best, avenging, but it's too late for poor Dr. E. With the military screwed on creating a new serum, they sweep everything under the rug and start promoting Cap around as a patriotic hero here to help end the war. While acting as Cap, Rogers remained a private in the military to keep his identity a secret. When he gets stationed at Camp Lehigh in Virginia is when he meets his BFF James Buchanan Barnes, or better known as Bucky. Bucky does eventually take up the mantle of Captain America upon Steve's death, which we'll cover in all caps, Bucky Barnes. But back to Cap. This is also around the same time that Steve meets his first love, Margaret Peggy Carter, also from Virginia, but left everything she knew behind to be a French resistance fighter overseas during the war. Cap and Peggy would fight alongside one another in mad missions, and the two eventually fall in love. Sadly, the comic version of this love story doesn't go as well for Steve as it does in the MCU. In the final days of the war, Peggy is knocked unconscious when an artillery shell explodes nearby. She wakes up with amnesia, remembering only the blast, and in the days that follow, Cap desperately searches for her, but finally gives in to the fact that she's gone, and a grieving Cap presses on. When the war is nearly over, Cap is captured and taken to a Nazi base in the Netherlands to be experimented on. Cap is able to break free and jacks one of the enemy planes, but the plane is badly damaged during his escape and goes down in the icy waters. The super soldier serum coursing through his veins is what would keep Cap alive, but Cap would spend many years frozen in suspended animation.
I can't move!
Eventually, he is found by the Avengers, partial thanks to Namor. The heroes thaw the legendary hero, and Cap becomes a man out of time, but an essential member to the team. So, that's a wrap. Now you know the origin of the first Avenger. Do you know some more Cap facts? Comment your favorite Cap fact below. And for more Marvel Comics videos, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side.